So I'm going to vanish now and I'll hand over to Teodora.
Thank you very much, Matthias. Thank you very much, you all that have registered and have come today in the Easter week and also in your free time. So thank you very much for joining us for this webinar. Because we have only about an hour, I'm going directly to the point. And I have a very short presentation about the basic concepts related to using AI, not that much developing AI tools or this technology, but using AI for project management so that we all have common and shared understanding about the concepts that we use when we refer to managing projects with AI and Businessmap. And then I'm going to show you some examples of how the AI agents in Businessmap work and help precisely project and portfolio managers in their daily work. And afterwards, I hope we have some time. We have some time for questions. In case that we do not have enough time for all the questions, feel free to send us the questions by chat or by contacting Matthias, and I'm going to answer all the questions after the webinar. So let me share my screen and go to the point. Okay, so this is how we start. I'm going to say a few words about prompt engineering. Why prompt engineering? Because we are going to use this concept a lot during this presentation. Just a second, I want to fit this one here. Okay, so first, what is prompt engineering? What is prompt indeed? This is the first concept that we would like to establish a common understanding of it. So when we refer to a prompt, we have in mind all the conversation we have with an AI tool. It could be ChatGPT, it could be Azure OpenAI, or another tool. So all the instructions, all the explanations, all the context information that we are giving to the AI set in general is what we consider and what we call a prompt. It is very important for our conversation to learn how to define good prompts, because the better our prompts, the better the answers we get from the large language model. So the prompt engineering is in fact this elaborating of all the instructions, all the explanations that we give to the AI in order to obtain the information that we need. Okay, so why is it so important to define well the prompts? Because the AI thinks, if we can call it thinks, or it reasons in terms of patterns. So these are large language models that have been trained in terms of patterns. So they recognize patterns in all the information that we are providing or we are requesting. And they provide the answers based on identifying the closest similarities between the information that we are providing or requesting with the information that they already have. Okay, so always our conversation with the AI agents or the AI tools goes like this. We provide input information. The model is reasoning about the information that we are providing and provides us the output of or the answer to the question or to the activity that we have asked the AI model to perform. Therefore, it is important in order that the AI tool thinks well or makes a good reasoning and provides the information that is helpful for us at this moment. It is important to provide the context. The clearer the context, the better the answer we get. We also have to provide our expectations, our objectives related to the information that we want to obtain. It has to be clear how we want to use it, why we want to use it, and what kind of context we want to use this information, because this is going to help the AI model to define the output in the specific terms that we expect. And also, the more specific we are, the better the outputs will be. In Businessmap, of course, all these recommendations are valid for any work we have with any AI model, with any large language model. However, today we are talking about how to use, how to manage projects smarter with Businessmap and the agents, the AI agents of Businessmap. So when we have, in fact, when we have the AI agents embedded in the tool that we are using for managing projects, then when we get most benefits in terms of saving time, obtaining information from the data that is already in the system. This means that the model is using the information in the system and is providing the answers from this more precise context about all the projects that we are managing, and therefore all the decisions that we make, that we take based on this information are also better and help us become better project managers. And also when we use the AI agents embedded in AI, in Businessmap, in this case, this allows us as project managers, as portfolio managers, as business managers to obtain the information that we need related to certain questions or certain topics that we are thinking on or discussing. And in this way, we can have more time for thinking more strategically and better focused on the topics and issues really related to the work that we are managing in Businessmap. Okay, so I'm going to show this in action just in few minutes. Let's just have a look at the prompts, that how we write. When we say writing better prompts is will provide us better answers. So what do we really mean? Well, the first rule or the first practice we have to have in mind is that we want to write clear and specific prompts. The AI models always give us answers. However, if we provide more specific requests about the information that we need, then of course we will get better answers. For example, if we say list overdue tasks in project X, project ABC, with due days and assignees, so the agent or the model in this case is going to look up for the tasks that are associated to project X and is going to check which of these tasks have due dates that have passed already and which are the assignees for these tasks. This will be the answer that we are going to get. It will be a lot better compared to just asking or tell me about the tasks. In the second case, again, we are going to receive an answer. However, it won't be as specific as we need. The second practice is providing context. So we need to provide context about the information that we want to obtain, and also the scope of the data or information where we expect the large language model to look for the information. For example, if we provide project names, days, objectives, we are going to obtain information that is directly related or closely related to this data that we provide in our requests. It is also important to assign a role to the AI model or to the AI agent in this case. I typically see, in many occasions, I see like people providing context saying, we are a company that do this and this and this, which is useful information. However, when we expect information from the AI model, from the agent, it is better to explain what role we want the model to take in order to make the thinking, the reasoning, and provide the information. So it happens to be more useful in this case to say, you are a project manager reporting to the head of engineering, as an example. So we are saying explicitly that the model has to answer our questions or our requests for information from thinking or from the perspective of a project manager that is reporting to the head of engineering. It is also helpful to define the format of the output. This is not a mandatory practice, but it always facilitates obtaining an information in a certain format that we are expecting. For example, summarize in bullet points or give a table with the task name, owner, and status. And the last but not least, practice. Maybe this is the practice that we are using most. It is iterate and refine. What does it mean? It means that when we write a prompt and we see that the results are not as good as we expect, or we need more information, additional information, we keep refining the prompt, defining it better with providing additional information or requesting providing more information about the format that we want to obtain or any additional aspects related to the output. And then in this conversation, we are in fact enriching our prompt and we are obtaining better results. So the more we practice, the more we iterate and refine our prompts, the better the results that we obtain. Okay, so now going directly to the prompts that we are going to see in Businessmap, we see these 4 types of prompt, and we are going to see them in action as an examples in a very short while. But the 4 types are the following ones. Instructional, so we can give very explicit and clear instructions. Summarize the completed tasks. This is one instruction. Or explain how to define OKRs in Businessmap. We can write this instruction into the help agent, the Businessmap assistant, and we will obtain an answer directly to this question. This saves time compared to looking into the Businessmap knowledge base, checking what kind of articles are there, etc. So defining clear instructions about what we want to obtain. Then the role-based pattern, which we already mentioned, you will see that we can say you are a project manager, so provide the information about certain projects or certain work that has been conducted during the last days. We can also write analytical prompts into Businessmap. For example, we can ask questions like this one: how many tasks per person are there in progress now? If we are simply interested in checking what is the workload for the people that are currently working in a team, and we want to make some ideas or insights about how much work we can start, for example, in the next days and things like this. Or we can ask questions or provide prompts like analyze the cycle time for the last 30 days. And we are going to obtain the answer. And this saves a lot of time of going to analytics, checking into the data, making the graphics, making sure that we use we create the graphics, selecting properly from the corresponding boards, workflows, lanes, etc. So we can obtain the answer really a lot faster. And the 4th type of prompts that we can use in Businessmap are the multi-step prompt. We can say, for example, find overdue tasks. This is the first step. Then suggest action. So we can give several instructions like different steps, and we can obtain the answers. Okay, so that's it about the theory. Let's see how it works in Businessmap. Just a little bit about the scenario that I have prepared so that you can see these different examples. I have prepared these boards. You can see different boards, team boards in Businessmap, where you can see the work of different business units like software development, electrical design, mechanical design, and many other teams, quality assurance, and things like this. And all these team boards are connected to a multiple project management board or a program management board. So you can see linked workflows. This is exactly what we are seeing. And now we are going to see how the AI agents in Businessmap help precisely the project and program managers. Okay, so these are, I have only shown here. So you can see here, so this is our management board, industrial projects. And here we have the boards for all these business units that belong to this organization, this example organization. So this is only example data. And because overall it is the same, I have selected one board from the software development business unit and one from the mechanical design business unit. And here you see this management board. You can see here the work packages. Here we have a project, which somehow I don't see right now. I don't know whether no, it should be somewhere here. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is not important now, but you can see here these either work packages or different projects that you can manage at this level. And all these child cards are in fact initiatives or cards that belong to different projects and to different boards, different team boards. And here under just a second, let me switch to English. Okay. Okay, good. So this is our project that we see here. And under linked workflows, you can see these initiatives that are in fact on the boards, in this case of the software development business unit, the electrical design business unit, mechanical design, etc. Okay, so let's see how or what kind of benefits the project managers and the portfolio management can take out of the AI agents in Businessmap. So when we ask the project managers, where do they mostly need the help of AI agents, typically they say, well, in the beginning, when we have to make the work breakdown structure of the project, and when we have to explain each one, for example, of the elements of this work breakdown structure. So just a little bit of vocabulary that I'm going to use. If we have a project, we can think that this project is broken down into different work packages, and each one of these different work packages, like electrical design, mechanical design, software development, etc., is further broken down into activities, and these activities are represented by cards on the corresponding boards. Okay, so typically, project managers say that, okay, here I see an electrical design work package. This is perfect, but we have, okay, maybe not this one, although this one is also relevant, but we can say we need to provide a little bit more information about what is the description of this work package, what it consists of, so that all the people that are going to work on this work package in all these initiatives that are connected to it or additional activities have more information about this. Okay, so what we can do in this case, typically this takes quite some time for project managers. So pay attention, here we have this icon, which means AI assistant. So going there, we can just write a prompt. This is a clear instruction, provide a brief description or provide a description for this work package. Okay. Description. Okay. Okay, and we get a description of this work package. We can copy it and use it in different places, or we can directly insert it here. Okay, so if we insert it here, we can say that this is the description. Okay, and then we read it. Maybe we like everything, maybe we do not agree with some of these elements, so we can further edit them in order to make the description relevant for the work package and for this project in which we obtain this, in which we develop this work package. So maybe we do not agree that, or we do not like this conducting load calculations to to determine power requirements. If we are not, if we do not agree with this, we can remove it. Then we edit the rest of the information. For example, coordinating with other engineering disciplines. Instead of this, we can say here with for example, software development, mechanical design, and etc. Okay, and other engineering disciplines to ensure that the system integration. So you understand, the idea is that we very quickly get a suggestion, a draft description of this work package, then we refine it to make it really relevant and fitter to the project where which we work. And if we are happy already with this description, then we update the cards and we have it there. In a similar manner, for example, we can go to, I don't know, a board, for example, of this this department, the mechanical design, and we see here, okay, prismatic joints. And maybe in a similar manner, we want to introduce more details for the people or for the person, in this case, Carlos, who is going to work on this task, on this work item. Okay, work item is better than task. And if you prefer, we can simply start typing here, and we want to provide more details as what kind of steps, in this case, the person has to follow, or what kind of subtasks they have to perform in order to complete this work item, prismatic joints. So prismatic joints. So in a similar manner, using this AI assistant, okay, we can say, okay, define the subtasks to join work item. Okay. And we ask the AI model to suggest a description of these subtasks. So again, we add them, and we can start and improve the description of these subtasks for this work item. And when we are happy with the description, we simply add these subtasks, and it's going to work. So this is how we help the project managers to elaborate better the descriptions of the work packages, the description of the tasks and subtasks, in order that all the people who work in the projects, who are involved in the project, get more detailed, more precise information about what they have to do. Definitely useful. You know, now you have seen this option for elaborating the text, the descriptions for the task. Sometimes, however, we do, again, as project managers, we do work that is kind of repetitive, although not the same. However, for example, very frequently, we want to see the progress of the projects on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or a monthly basis. So typically, this information about what is the status of the project is something that project managers are really interested in and want to make sure that they have on-time information about all the issues, all the risks that might have occurred to the project, so that they can take the right decisions as soon as possible. So in this case, instead of every time writing a prompt, give me the status information about my project, we can prepare some prompts and have them predefined. For example, we can, you see, again, the same icon here. That means AI tools. Okay. And again, I have to change. Sorry for this. I have to change the language to English as well here. I usually work in Spanish, therefore you see this. Okay, so here we have some predefined prompts. Why do we need them predefined? So that we can always use them very quickly without the need to typing them every time we want to execute them. And the typical questions that project managers typically ask themselves is what is the status of the project. Therefore, we have a prompt here this of the type summaries, which is of the which is a weekly report, and pay attention to our expression in this prompt. So we are telling the AI agent, you are a project manager. Okay, so we are assigning the role to the AI agent, and then we give instruction about what we want to obtain. And we also define the output, the format for the output. So we are saying, you are a project manager, please check the cards that have been completed. This is clear. And prepare a weekly report with the following sections: finished work, delayed work, blocked work, risks, and issues. And we give a little bit more information about the formatting. Use the HTML for formatting, H2 for each one of the sections. Okay, so this is the prompt about what we expect from the AI agent. And we are providing, you can see here, we are providing the fields that we want the AI agents to check into in the Businessmap cards to obtain this information and provide this report. So we are telling the agent, check into the titles, the descriptions, the comments, the subtasks, deadlines, name of the column, whether a card is blocked or not, and which is the blocker. And we are providing this additional information. So in the comments, because we are providing this field here, in the comments, you can find information about risks, if such information is provided, of course. Okay, so this is the prompt that we have defined. If we see that the information obtained is not according to our expectations, then we have to refine and improve this prompt here in this dialog for defining the prompt. Okay, so how do we use it? So thinking that we are a project manager, okay, so we can, for example, these are all the cards that our department, our software development team has worked on during the last, I don't know, week, 10 days, or a certain period. So we can select the cards. For example, we can only select the cards that are finished or the cards that are finished and in progress. And we can, with the right mouse buttons, we can say, use the AI agents, in particular, use this weekly report. So in this case, Businessmap is executing this prompt. Okay, and you see, we get this report, this summary of the finished work, precisely in the format that we have explained, we have submitted to the AI agent. And we see finished work, okay, quite some. There are quite some work items that have been finished. Delayed work, no delayed work reported. Blocked work items, 2 work items. You've seen them behind. Risks, no specific risks have been reported in the comments, and no issues. Okay, so if we like, we can copy this information, this summary, and just place it in our report that we are preparing, for example, for reporting to the project management office, to the executive management, or where we need it. Okay, so we copy it and we can edit this report. If we are interested only in seeing the information, for example, about this work package, user interfaces, we can only leave the cards related to this work package or to this project. It could be a project as well. And we can say the same thing, okay, only about these work items, just give me the weekly report. And again, in the same format, we obtain the information. We have finished work, these 3 work items that you see behind, the delayed work, only 1 application, which is mobile app, no blocked items, no risks, no issues. Again, if we like, we can copy this summary and we can paste it wherever we like. Okay, so this is about the prompts related to summaries of of status of work or project status reports. Also, you can see that we can have prompts in different languages. So if you need to provide the information in different languages, you simply put the prompt in these languages, or you can put the prompt in English, for example, and say answer in German. And then you will obtain, because you give this instruction, you will obtain the answer in your language. And something very comfortable and very useful for project managers is that, for example, you see that this is our program management board. Okay, so again, here we have some prompts that we use frequently. In this case, we have another prompt for weekly project report. Let's see how it looks like. So again, we say you are a project manager in an engineering company. You have to report the work progress of the projects that you lead, and each project is represented by a card. And for each one of the cards, the selected cards, report the following information: deadline, risks, blocked, whether the project is blocked or not, and block reason. And again, use the HTML formatting for each one of the sections. Again, similarly to the previous prompt that we have seen, we explicitly state the fields that we want the AI agents to look into in order to obtain this information that we expect to be included in the report, in the project report. And here we explain a bit more, we provide a bit more additional information. For example, in the title, always use the title. About the priority, we might have different paragraphs for projects with different priorities. And critical priority should come first in the report, then higher priority, and then average priorities. Description about this field, because we have included here, we say that we give this information to the AI agents that risks are described in this field. So if you find a section risk in the description of initiative or another card, include them in the report if they are stated in the description. Again, we say look into the comments, because risk could be described also in this field. And if you find the word risks and something related to risks in the comments field, then include them in the report. And then something about tax and things like this, so we can provide any additional information. So we have this prompt here defined. And then we can select, for example, these projects. And again, the same way of using, we give the instruction, or we run this AI agent, this prompt about these selected projects. And again, we see the information. And in this case, we see for each one of these three work packages, we see the name, which is the title of the work package, the deadline, the risks. Here, some risks have been identified in the description of this card. No blockages, no blocked reason, mechanical design with their deadline, with their risks, blockages, and blocked reason, and software development. And the interesting point here is that, so this is how we use the prompt at this level of the project level. However, if we go to the linked workflows and we want to use this information, for example, for the project here, in fact, we are executing the prompt that comes from that corresponding board. And you remember in the previous time when we saw the prompt, for the software development, our prompt included these instructions, these requests. So define the project report, the finished work report, using these sections: finished work, delayed work, blocked work, risks, and issues. So although we are on the board of multiple projects, the program board, because we are selecting initiatives or cards that come from a linked board, from a linked workflow, we are executing the prompt that is defined, this one here, that we saw before, and therefore we obtain the report in this format. So all of you and all of us who have prepared project reports and status reports at some point of our careers, you know that this saves lots of time of collecting the information, analyzing the information, providing the status information in a certain format in such a way that it can be reported. So again, if you do not fully agree with the information that you get from the agent, this might happen, but at least you have an initial draft status report, and then you can simply refine it in order to make sure that it provides the correct information about your projects. So this is about the status reports or the summaries information, because after the need to help with defining requirements, defining the scope of the projects, the second expectations of project managers is precisely help with providing status report. Something that we have already seen, we can, if we frequently, for example, define this, we want to make a good description of our subtask, we can, instead of typing every time the prompt about define subtasks for a certain work item, we can have this prompt predefined here, and we can simply request its execution every time when we need it. And this will be, this is an example. This is, of course, you can define even better prompts for this, but as an example, I think this is enough. An example of a prompt for defining subtasks. So again, we are giving the role to the AI agents. We say, you are the project manager who defines the tasks to be done in order to complete the project results. Each task is represented by a card. And the subtasks are smaller tasks, so we provide here the description. And these smaller tasks have to be completed to accomplish the task which they make part of. So make sure to indicate the assignees for the subtasks and the expected delivery dates. And again, we provide information where the agent should look for in order to understand which is the task. Therefore, we tell them, look into the title, look into the description, to be able to understand what the task is about, and based on this understanding, define the subtasks that will be relevant for this task. And here, again, in a similar manner, we provide what kind of information can be found in the title or should be used from the title and from the description. Okay, so how do we use? So a while ago, I showed you that you can simply type, define the subtasks for a certain task. And now, instead of this, okay, here I see that we have some subtasks. So let's go here with this task, for example. And we can say, we can just go to subtasks. And one option was from here, from the AI, just to write the prompt, write the subtask. And another option would be we go there and we use this option here, generate the subtask by means of the AI. So we click here and we say, okay, use this prompt predefined. So very quickly, we give it generate. And this time we see it slightly different. I kind of like this format better because, again, we obtain a proposal of different subtasks. So we start reading them, and if we like this subtask, if we find that it is relevant for this work item, we add it as a subtask. If we do not agree, we simply skip it. Or maybe we add this one, and we are done. We are satisfied with this. I edit all of them, no problem with this. But afterwards, if we see, for example, we can delete them, the ones that we don't want to include in this work item. And for those that we do want to include, we can edit them a little bit and say, okay, I don't need these 3 in the beginning, and we can say analyze the compatibility of CAN bus with existing system. The assignee will be, for example, Mark Johnson, and expected delivery date is not November 2023. It could be, for example, like 15th of May this year, and then we include this subtask. Okay, so in this this is an alternative way of obtaining a list of subtasks, and we make sure that the people that will be involved here will know what they are expected to do and how to do it. And another example, you can make, of course, your you will have to define your own prompts, but another example, for example, of using predefined prompts are these one, our AI assistants for writing comments and emails. Okay, so in which situation do we use these prompts? For example, here in our software development business unit, the developers, in addition to developing functionalities, they might have additional work that is fixing bugs or answering to particular requests related to their job. So we can, for example, if we have this this work item here, we see that, okay, this is a request that we have received through email from this person, and this is the request or the question that we have received. How can I visualize the blockers for our work on our team board? Okay, so in this case, typically, because Businessmap in this case is integrated with the email box of the support team, for example, or the software development team, so we can answer directly again by selecting, okay, use this predefined prompt for answering, for providing a faster response to this request that is described in the email. So again, we put it here, we generate the request, and if we like it, we send it directly to the person who has sent this request, or if not, we can type and adjust the answer before sending it to the person who has requested it. And let's just briefly have a look at the prompt. You will recognize again these practices that I mentioned in the beginning. So you can see that in this case, we say, you are a support assistant. You are in charge of resolving incidents related to the use of the Businessmap platform. Therefore, try to understand the problem before suggesting a solution. The problem is described in the description of each request, and possible solutions could be this one that we state here. Of course, if you really want this agent to be a good support assistant, then you will have to define here a lot better. You will provide better guidance about the answers, but you can see here some example. For example, if the user cannot initiate their session, they have to activate their account, or they have to call this phone number. And these instructions are interesting, but also very helpful. Begin your answer with hello, and end your answer with contact us if you need more information. Okay, so if we have this prompt, and now we want to answer here, okay, we can go to the comments, we execute this prompt, not this one, we want to execute this one. Okay, I mean, we want to execute it in English, therefore the other one was in Spanish. And you see this is what the AI agent is generating for us. Hello, to visualize the blockers on your team, you can create a management board and things like this. This is the answer, but pay attention. It begins with hello and it ends with contact us if you need more information. Again, we can refine this answer that is between hello and contact us if you need more information. And if we're happy with this, we can say send it as an email or not, or just add the comment, and the information is included in the comment, and it is sent to the person who has made this request. Just a second to see how we go with the time. So you can very quickly, you see here's our help center. So you can use our AI assistant agent to very quickly find information about Businessmap. For example, here at the bottom, when you say contact support, okay, in fact, the first question you send to the Businessmap support team will be answered by our AI assistant. This doesn't mean that the answer is not good or is not good enough, because I'm going to show you how. For example, we can, what kind of questions? How do we use OKRs in Businessmap? Just a question that I got just before the webinar. Okay, so you see here the answer. You can ask questions about how to define prompts and formulas and things like this. However, you get this answer. Okay, so in order to obtain this answer in other occasion, in other conditions, you would have to go to the Businessmap knowledge base, then look into all this enormous knowledge base for this information. And now here, just in a few seconds, you get these answers. If you like it, maybe it works. If not, you still have the option to go to the knowledge base article, and pay attention here. You still have the possibility, the opportunity to contact our human support team, clicking here, and you will obtain this information. But still, you get information, the answer to your question very quickly. And the last example that I would like to give you about the Businessmap AI agents are precisely about the analytical prompts and how we use them. For example, if we are interested in some information about the status of work or the workload for certain people, or what is the, I don't know, the cycle time related to a particular work type. So we can, from here, we can run our AI coach. Okay, this is the AI assistant. And here we can ask questions that are either static questions about what is the current status. For example, how many work items, maybe that's not quite natural. How many cards do we have in progress now? Okay, in this case, it was very easy to answer this question because we only have 3 cards and it says 3. However, sometimes you might have more cards, or you can ask how many cards in progress, for example, are assigned to Ainhoa. Okay, and we will see if we are looking for what is, how many work items does this person have, and we see 3 of them. I'm not quite sure whether this is like this or not. It is 1 in particular. Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe it's true because I asked for the entire, how many cards. Something like this. Okay, you understand the idea. So you can ask these questions and other similar. Okay, now we get 1 card, which is precisely this one. But asking questions to the AI coach, in fact, you have this opportunity to very quickly obtain information, analytical information, data information about the work items, about the cards that you see in a certain workflow, in a column, or on the entire board. And again, this saves time because, of course, you can obtain this information by going to the analytics or to the dashboard and making sure that, or making a report from here. And you can definitely, you can obtain this answer simply using the AI agents. You can obtain this information a lot faster. So I think that's enough for starting the questions. And
Awesome. Thanks.
okay.
Thanks very much, Theo. That was awesome here. First of all, to everybody, an apology again that we started a bit late. We managed to not press one button, and so I was talking happily without you seeing me, but you didn't miss anything. You will see that there is a trial for those of you who want to play with it, are not Businessmap users. Everybody else who is Businessmap user has got this functionality. There is some, like the coach is at the moment still in beta, but it is there. We will see it. And then I've also put the PMI certificate holders. You asked me for the PDF, you claim code, that's there. We will now go to a few questions. We can also stay a few minutes longer if you want to and answer questions. I just wanted to, if somebody has to go exactly at past, feel free. We'll also send you a link to the recording afterwards if there's anything, but maybe if we've got a few minutes, we can still answer a few of the questions and really go to the Q&A. Teodora, the one question, the first one was there is the AI agent, is it used an API to create that? That was just a question. I guess you are using in the background, you are using ChatGPT, if I'm not mistaken.
In the background, okay. We're using it, but we ensure all the security. We have provided all the security, making sure that no information leaks outside the customer account. So yeah, and we have a team that is working, that is developing all these agents, and they are very strict with this. So yeah, we ensure all the security of the information.
Okay, then there was a question from Michael, is it really copying or any automation pre-filled content to list to select from here? Wondering about the AI part, which should not be copy paste. I'm not fully understanding there, Michael, what you're trying to ask. I don't know. Also, this was about 20 minutes ago that you wrote that, if it has been answered. So maybe just add something else. I don't know, Teodora, if you understand that 100% with the copying and so on, or if we should rather go on to one of the other questions.
If I understand correctly the question, because I was copying the title of the card when I was typing manually the prompt. So I was saying, make the description for this card, and I was really copying the title of the card. But this is because I was typing the prompt, so I had to provide the information about which work package or which card, which work item I wanted to be described in more details. However, in the pre-prepared prompts that I had, you remember that I had, we defined the fields that we sent to the AI model. Then because the title is there, I do not have to copy and write it again. So when I put everything manually, of course, I have to put even the title of the work item in the prompt. But if I use a pre-prepared prompts, I don't have to do this.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that about covers it. That would be
if that's the question.
Time.
This is what.
Michael, if you want to, you can still add more for us there if you're still here. Then Paul asked, can AI also take on monitoring tasks, for example, monitoring deadlines, critical path, and if so, does it offer possible solutions so that one can keep the project on schedule?
Yes, it can. I didn't have time to prepare this and show this, but you can even include in the prompt, for example, make sure that you check all the work items that have like 5 days up to the deadline, and then the prompt, the AI model is going to give us this information, preliminary information that, for example, either there is a risk of delay or there are only 5 days remaining up to the deadline. So pay closer attention to these tasks. So yes. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that one was that one. Then the next one, Michael again wanted to know, explain a little bit more on the AI part here. What's different from MS Planner project with respect to Copilot license? Also, there was a comment Oh no, that was just me asking if there's a bit more detail, because I also didn't. I don't know if you get that one respecting Copilot license. I think the one thing is for licensing is the basic license in Businessmap includes everything.
That's the idea. Yes, this is the model of Businessmap. Yes.
Okay. Then the question was, can the AI assistant also create, for example, tasks for the next sprint?
Tasks for the next sprint. The tasks, I understand that they have to be associated to like a general sprint description. So if we have this general sprint description in an initiative, then we can ask the AI the same way as I showed it for a project or for a work package. We can ask the AI to suggest the tasks for the sprint. Then whether we want to see them, all of them, as the AI suggested, it's another topic, but we can always refine them and adjust them to make them fitter to the expectations about the sprint. So,
and I guess
yes,
also the better your prompt is, the more and more detail you've got, and the more details you've got in the description and so on. So if you plan
absolutely
correctly, it will do things for you.
Okay, of course, that this is true. And also we should provide maybe some additional information about the previous sprint, about the overall context of the development that is done in this organization, so that the prompt or the AI model can suggest better descriptions of the sprint tasks.
So if you've got that one, obviously it's always a garbage in, garbage out system, an AI system. The better you can give it definitions and so on, the more it can do. As obviously, if you only give it a name of something, it will generically create something out of it, which it pulls out of the, as we say, ChatGPT in the background, out of the learning database that it has got there. But it can only give you as much as you give it.
Therefore, it's a generative AI. So it is always going to generate an answer. However, if you want really a worthwhile answer, then we have to provide the contextual information, and we have to write the prompt in a clear and explicit manner so that we can get this outcome that we expect.
Awesome. There was another question that said, is there any reason for restricting the AI tool's writing prompt to the role of workspace manager in Businessmap? So is it only the workspace manager that can do it, or is there a way to manage who writes the prompts?
Right now it is like this. And also what I have shown, it is about the AI agents of Businessmap today, because in a few months and in a year, the situation will be quite different and more advanced. Why only the workspace managers can write the prompts? In many organizations, still the usage of AI is not allowed. Why is not allowed? Mainly for security concerns, cybersecurity concerns, and the risk of losing information and this kind of concerns. And also in some organizations, they prefer that not all the people be able to write prompts, but rather the workspace managers can prepare these predefined prompts, and afterwards all the people use these prompts to ensure the quality of the answer. So this is the main reason. Of course, if we see that the expectations and the requests of our customers are changing, then maybe this restriction will change as well. But for now, it is like this. Yes, that's true.
But over time, it might be something. I mean, Businessmap has got quite a big role engine, that it might be that you later on get a role that says, okay,
Yes.
you can do it or you can't do it.
Of course,
But
of course.
as you say,
yes.
It's early days.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then there was a last question here. Do you provide tutorials, PDFs, or live webinars to users of Businessmap if they need any help learning how to prompt engineer on this fantastic platform?
We have, I think we have several videos, at least in Spanish. We have already prepared several videos. I think they are available also in English. about explaining how to use the AI agents. We do not have yet tutorials about prompt engineering, but there are good training courses about prompt engineering. And overall, it's not that difficult. I mean, it requires some time to learn it because it is about how we express ourselves. It's like how we communicate, how we have conversations with the AI model. So it's not that difficult, but you're right. We do not have guiding materials or tutorials about about prompt engineering, but we do have materials about materials about how to use the Businessmap AI agents.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that was at the moment the questions. There is no more. I haven't seen if something has come into the chat. I haven't really. There was one question that was, can I start prompts automatically every week, for example, by a business rule? That was one that came in still.
I have not tried this yet, but I would say rather no right now. But again, maybe in the future we will be able to start this and this way produce the weekly status reports automatically every week or on a certain cadence.
I guess it's coming. I also don't know. I haven't seen it really. And then with the AI coach, there was a question: does it only return numeric values or also text or whatsoever?
It also returns text, and it also provides graphical information, so you can ask questions about the trends or the cycle time for a certain period of time. This is maybe the AI agent that is less advanced so far as of today, but we are working on it. But overall, the idea is that this agent, the AI coach, helps with all the analytics about the data, about the work items in a certain workflow or column or board. So yeah, helping with extracting analytical information, data about the work items.
Awesome. And I see also Albena in the background has been listening and has been putting you the 2 articles about how to use the Businessmap AI coach and the AI assistant in there. We'll also provide that then at the end when I send the feedback. I'll also provide that for you, so you can get a bit more detail there. I have seen there was one other question that was said: can subtasks be subdivided and so on by using the AI agent? I don't know. I don't see it here, but I saw it just now. So if you've got subtasks already, can you edit them using the AI agent or something like that?
Yes, you can in the description, because in the description of the subtask, again, you have access to the AI assistant. You can request describing a subtask into more details. But remember that the subtasks in general should not be too big. Otherwise, they should be rather tasks or work items. But yes, you can use the same agent for providing more details about the subtasks.
Awesome. Teodora, I think we've got about 2/3 of the people still here that were here earlier on. So I see that a few people said they had to leave, and there is no real questions, I think, that came in there. So let's not keep the people too long. I mean, we said an hour. As we said, we've got a 30-day trial for you. Something else, I'll also send you all a mail if somebody has got a question. I mean, the one thing is you can connect to Teodora online. You've also got my LinkedIn that you've got. And if you've got a question, feel free to contact me as well. I'll also send you a link to a meeting request if you really want to for a quick half an hour or so. Feel free. That's also an offer from us to you. If you really want to discuss this through and say, I've got specific needs and so on, by all means, let us know, and then we can take it from there. And we can if I don't know, I've got a direct line to the Businessmap team, so I can send that then over. So we can definitely do so.
Yeah, and for sure, in a couple of months or later, you will see more progress from our side, from the Businessmap team, related to the usage of the AI agents.
I think one thing that also is feedback that Businessmap is often giving is if you've got suggestions, if you've got requests, please send them in. Nobody can promise that it is going to come in, but if there's good ideas, that is one of the features that is really being actively worked on. And I personally know that one or two of my suggestions have already been taken into account and so on. So it is definitely something that is being actively worked on at this moment.
Yes, that's true.
Great. I think let's leave it at that. Thanks very much, Teodora. I mean, it's always awesome to chat to you, and it's great to see what Businessmap is doing with this AI. I'm really excited about that, and really excited about where it is going. And also, I've seen it from the start to where it is now, and it has progressed in leaps and bounds. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think every month we'll see the release of it. But thanks very much. Let's keep in touch, and I'll also keep my readers updated. If you're not yet connected to my to our newsletter, that's also where you will often get things like that. Subscribe to Businessmap, find us or Businessmap on YouTube. Lots of places where you can find us.
Okay. Thank you
Great.
for having me, and keep in contact. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks very much there. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye.